Okay lang,
I think
no problem.
tatlo lang po.
Welcome to the Feel Good Grind, where I share my stories, wins, and insights in my business playground. Because business should feel good, not just look good.
Okay. Alright, so today I'm sitting down with an HR executive who's at a crossroad. She's been handling people, process, and policies, in the past month with that particular consulting client of mine. But now she's trying to navigate the messy transition into proper HR systems. So right now, it's a mix of, spreadsheets, manual tracking, and scattered tools that don't talk to each other. Big question is, where do I begin? So that's what I'm here for. I'm not giving her another tool or app. I'm just giving her a clear step-by-step HR roadmap. So what processes need to be in place, from recruitment, onboarding, retention, performance management, and those things, and then probably what metrics matter most, and digitalization or digital transformation in HR. So I am about to log in now. Hello.
Hi, Sir Dennis.
Good morning. Is yung HR roadmap. No. Yung HR kasi is something na they are weak. No? So that's why they got you so that may strengthen yung HR systems nila or ng company. One of the objectives is that people won't be dependent on them when it comes to operations and HR. No. So let's just come up with a roadmap. No? So this is just a quick alignment of where we are now. No? So the way I do it kasi, I analyze first the current process of the company, parang as is, and then from there let's identify the gaps, and then before I give my recommendations, and then before we can identify, which topics we can discuss when it comes to in upscaling sa HR. Okay. Alright, so like I said, medyo broad ang HR. Let's start with the employee 201 file. 201 file, how is it now? Okay, but when it comes to the contracts, are they all regularized or meron pang mga employees na walang? What's your process when it comes to updating the 201 file? So every movement, kasi every movement, may mga memo, etc. It should be updated, the digital copy and the hard copy. So I assume okay ka na sa process na yun.
The digital copy po,
Wala pa tayong HRIS. Okay. Kompleto naman ang onboarding process natin.
yes
So
po.
usually meron tayong job offer, di ba?
Yes, opo. Job offer.
Ano pa? Employment checklist.
Yes, opo.
What
Meron naman
else?
checklist. The contracts.
Do you do background
COP.
checks ba? How about the orientation? How long is the company orientation sa onboarding? Again, a quick recommendation lang, So ideally, after the orientation, my recommendation is to give a quick check-in after a week. Kasi as you know, ito yung critical moment ng new employee, di ba? So we don't want the
Yes.
employee to get confused. O minsan, hindi siya nagre-raise ng question kasi nahihiya siya, di ba? So then another check-in after a month. Parang ganon. Kasi susunod na nun, yun yung third month na evaluation niya as probationary.
Yes, correct.
The thing that I recommend in performance management is establishment first of the KPIs, no? Or key performance indicators.
Hi. Hi, sir.
Hi, good afternoon. How are you?
Okay naman, sir.
Yes.
Nagugulahan.
Naguguluhan. Yeah. Yeah, I've read your profile, no? Diagnostic clinic, no? So, you have two directions or two path na pwedeng i-take, no? One is for you to really understand the basics of accounting. Accounting kasi is an art of recording, di ba? So, you have the way of doing it now. It's just that hindi mo lang napuproduce yung tamang reports, no? Yun kasi medyo technical, may konting technical side yun eh. You have to understand yung mga tinatawag na journal entries, no? If you've heard that before. And then yung actual preparation of the financial statement, which is balance sheet and profit and loss, no? Ang easy way to do it is a spreadsheet. You record your top line, which is the revenue, and then the expenses, no? Ang problem kasi pag profit and loss lang, hindi ka pwedeng maging confident doon without the balance sheet. Because the balance sheet will define the integrity of your financials, no? Part of it is yung pagbabank reconciliation, etc. So, hindi naman talaga siya rocket science. You just need time to sit down and understand it, no? And I can help naman when it comes to that. So that's one option. Another option is yung mga bookkeepers na yan, by default, what they offer is only tawag dito, yung external compliance. But some of them, they also offer internal financial statements preparation. Now, if they offer that service, then you don't need to understand the accounting process kasi they can do it for you. Probably, hindi mo lang sila natanong or kung ginagawa nila yon, and if so, magkano. Yeah, i-negotiate mo na lang, no? Na mas mababa. Actually, they can also provide financial advisory. So, ibig sabihin, on top of the financial statements, they'll be the one to interpret it for you. No? Yeah, merong formula yun na acceptable sa BIR, yung pag-arrive sa landed cost, ano. So, yung converted currency amount, no, into peso plus the cost, ipo-prorate mo kasi yun based on dun sa size, yung mga dimensions, no, nung product. So, when it comes to monitoring of your unit cost, ideally, yung ERP, merong automation nung pag-prorate nun. Otherwise, doon ka sa traditional approach. Yung traditional approach is just binabangga lang yun sa dun sa dinedeclare lang siya as purely cost of sales, no, purchases. I-clarify lang, i-correct lang natin yung term, no. Yung pag sinabing tax compliance, ito yung sa side ng filing for your mga VAT and income tax, no. Yung sa side kasi ng importation, that's duties and taxes.
The story is simple. You care about your people, but you're buried in a day-to-day tasks. HR teams stuck in paperwork and spreadsheets instead of focusing on people. That's why for this week, I share this HR roadmap towards automation. It matters because it frees HR from admin work so they can drive culture and performance.
Number one is digitize your records. Is pag naka-receive siya ng billing ng mga air freight na yan, etc., baka nire-recognize din right away yan as an expense.
Actually, ganun talaga nangyayari sa expense.
Hindi. Dapat it should be asset. It's actually part of your materials. Yung cost of materials. Hindi kaya nga tinatawag na landed cost It's the landed cost of your inventory. Ngayon, pagka nag-progress bill ka na, nag-recognize ka na ng progress, then that's the time siya gagawin expenses. Pag nag-match ka ngayon ng sales mo, magkaka-match siya, may matching kang revenue per quarter. Hindi yung revenue ng project nito nasa quarter 2, tapos yung expenses niya nasa quarter 3, or vice versa.
Oo.
Diba? So, minsan kasi ang project tumatalon din ng taon, diba?
Yes.
So, ibig sabihin, yung expenses ng project A nasa 2024, pero yung revenue na nasa 2025, di ba? So, yun yung dapat may matching. Kaya it's important of yung timing of the accrual of expenses and the revenue. So, yun yung I want you to be mindful of. Ang nangyayari kasi sa mga accountants, no? Especially yung mga fresh graduates. Yes, natuto sila ng theory, no? Pero pag nagsabak na sila dun sa actual work, no? Nangyayari kasi, kung ano yung practice ng old way of accounting nung pinasukan nila na company, yun din yung na-adapt nila. They think na yun yung ginagawa in real world, no? Which is, commonly, I think I've shared this with you before, ang concern lang talaga ng mga bookkeepers is makapag-file sila ng tax. Pero when it comes to strategies kung paano ka efficiently magbabayad ng tax mo and to minimize yung mga fees at yung proper timing ng mga fees, usually hindi nila yan pinapansin. Hindi nila dinidiscuss sa kliyente nila, no? From the stock room, yung mga fabric, no? Kailangan ma-record nila at the end of the day kung ano yung na-consume. At saka para sa ang project na yun. Para saan yung para kaninong project yun. So, yung pinag-usapan natin kanina labor, ito naman yung material. Na may reporting dapat na ibibigay si operations kay accounting na ito yung nagamit na materials at nagamit at saka labor na consume for this week or whatever. Papasok yun sa WIP, yung work in process. So, now, pag dineliver na yun sa site, dun pa lang siya papasok sa dun pa lang siya matatanggal sa WIP, mako-consider na siya as cost of service or cost of goods sold. Deliver ka na eh. So,
Yes.
dun pa lang siya, dun mangyayari yung milestone progress. No? So, again, we're talking about strategies on how to account for this using the forms. No? So, kanina, meron tayong ginamit na form yung sa down payment, which is a billing statement. Hindi pa siya service invoice, no? Then, meron tayong provisional provisional receipt. Okay. Nung nag-PO tayo kay supplier, wala pang accounting entry doon. Ang document mo doon is the voucher nung advance payment. Ano? So, yung voucher nung advance payment, doon pa lang ma-recognize yung advances to supplier. So, that's another accounting entry, no?
Yes.
Pag dineliver na yung goods, anong document mo doon? Dapat meron kang receiving report. Okay? So, yung receiving report mo, now, will have, mabubuk mo ngayon yung inventory mo based on do sa receiving report ng supplier. Okay? Now, pag nag-issue ngayon ng invoice sa supplier, doon magbubuk ka naman ng accounts payable. Accounts payable voucher ang tawag doon.
Okay.
Okay. So, going back kanina, pag binayaran mo na sa supplier using cheque or bank transfer, dapat meron kang payment voucher kung tawagin. So, dalawang, actually tatlong voucher pinag-usapan natin. Isa yung sa advances.
Okay.
Actually, pwedeng payment voucher yun, pero advances ang entry mo. Then, meron kang accounts payable voucher. I mean, important din kasi yun later on na you can have a contracts with your supplier para makakuha ka ng discount. Kasi pwede mo silang kausapin na a long-term relationship and commitment na sa kanila kukuha with an agreed discount at saka terms, no? So,
Yes.
negotiation na yan. Pero more of optimization na lang yun ng cost natin, no? The reason why I'm telling you that, because regardless kung gagamit tayo ng ERP later, regardless kung may terms ka or wala, dadaan ka sa accounts payable voucher. Required kasi
Yes.
yan ng ERP. Tsaka ka palang pupunta sa payment voucher. Sa side naman nung materials and labor, ang document mo yung kanina, yung time accounting sheet ng labor ng employee, at the same time yung material issuances.
Okay.
So, ibig sabihin, it can be a manual thing na ginagamit sa production, pero i-forward yun sa back office nyo para i-record somewhere. It can be spreadsheet, or kung mag-ERP tayo, sa ERP siya i-record. By doing that, then yung mga sinabi kong transactions, then properly mo na-account ngayon yung mga transactions mo sa business. Kasi kung gumagamit ka ng ERP, automatically mag-update na yung profit and loss mo and balance sheet based on those transactions.
Yeah.
Yung mga sinabi kong mga documents ngayon, yan ang susi dun eh. That's the key. Para ma-account mo siya ng maayos. Hindi, actually, yan ang lagi ko sinasabi, no? Don't go looking for an accounting software kung wala ka pang process. Based on our discussion right now, marami ka pang process na hindi clear sa'yo kung paano ini-implement and ano yung best practice to implement it. Ang problem kasi natin, once na bumili ka ng software, yes, maganda siya sa facade, pero pag ini-implement na natin, hindi mo malaman kung paano mo i-implement based on your existing process, diba? So, you have to be definite first kung ano yung process mo. Halimbawa, yung nabanggit ko sa'yo na labor, tsaka yung material issuances, yun yung ideal. Pero in reality ba, kaya nyo ba siyang i-implement?
Tama.
Diba? Diba? Ang maganda kasi pag concrete yung process natin, yan exactly yung ipipresent nyo sa kanila. O ito yung proseso ko. Kaya bang isupport yan ng Q&E? Kaya ba niyang gumawa ng labor report? Kaya ba niyang gumawa ng material issuances or manufacturing order? And then kung kaya niya, then that will give you confidence na you are choosing the right software, di ba? Minsan, yes, ito yung mga best practices na forms na nire-recommend ko. Ang challenge kasi minsan is kaya bang i-implement yan sa production area, 'di ba? Kaya ba nating magpapayag yung project manager mo na i-implement 'yon? Yes, may recommendation tayo ng best practices, pero some teams or some companies cannot easily adapt to it. So we have to make sure then na they are all agreeing na we will implement those. Kasi yung iba diyan magrereklamo kasi dagdag trabaho sa kanila 'yun. Sign on the final process. Kasi kung hindi, meron namang ibang workaround. Kaso, may mga masasacrifice kang reports kung hindi natin siya i-implement. So, kailangan i-negotiate natin yun with everyone. You needed help when it comes to
System.
Okay. So, pretty much naman when it comes to accounting, it's a standard process, no? I mean, I can easily guide and teach you on how to do it. My question is, do you have the time and bandwidth to learn everything, or your
Yes.
plan is? Okay, so Wednesday na, and we're heading to Alabang. We've been busy kasi in the past 2 days. Monday, Tuesday was content day. I have a lot of ngayon, coachings. And then yun nga yung what I'm thinking about is as a CEO or an entrepreneur, you always switch context, di ba? As you talk about admin stuff, and then you talk about sales, and then you do consulting work, then you do creative work, and then despite all of that, how can you switch? That's the challenge, and make it like a parang feel good pa din, which is the theme of our blog. So, pero despite all of that, marami tayong gagawin.
we still were able to have a quick break. So right now we're not working, so we're heading to Alabang to have brunch, and we have to buy some supplements. You know, it's trabaho ng mga retired.
Yes.
Pero before kasi, it's, as you know, diba, it's difficult for me to have this types of parang quick breaks, no, in the middle of the week, because I think probably we can do it, but usually sa gabi na.
Right.
So what do you think is the difference now? Number one is, before I used to do it solo, but this time you're here.
So I think difference now is before kasi magkaiba tayo ng ginagawa. I mean, I'm doing stuff like on my own, and then you are also doing your own thing, diba? But now that we're like together in this, so lahat ng lakad mo, lahat ng lakad ko, we're together.
Yeah.
And then we share the same schedule. I think one of the reasons also is we've somehow established like a system on how to do things. So meaning, medyo maganda na yung ating
System.
No, not that the system.
Cadence. Rhythm.
Yeah, the rhythm. Like in a week, we know what are the things we can accomplish and what are the things that we need to skip, or kailan tayo pwedeng date, breakfast date, or lunch date. So,
I think you're right, and one thing really is I realize talaga na important is the accountability partner.
Right.
No. Before, I don't know if you remember, 5-10 years ago, lagi ako sinasabi na okay lang na I have this partner. Remember si Nestor? At least na-force ako to to finish something. Kasi nga I have an accountability partner. Now with you around, so ganun din, di ba? So I have some kind of a parang it's kind of comforting to have somebody na that person knows what you're doing, di ba? And they can relate, you can share things kasi nakaka-relate sila.
Agree.
Etc. I was talking to another person, coaching client last week. He's a restaurant, and then he hired he has a restaurant, and then he hired a general manager, and somehow his pain point is that he knows what to do dun sa mga lapses ng general manager and all that, but he's just tolerating it. So
why is that so?
He's tolerating it kasi nga I think dahil wala siyang accountability partner, diba?
Okay.
So alam niya yung mga issues niya sa HR. Sabi mo sa kanya, you know what to do. It's just that you're tolerating the problem. No. So I think nasabi ko na yan even before, na don't tolerate problems. Kasi that's our tendency, diba?
Right.
Na alam mo na may problema pero hindi mo ginagawa ng paraan, diba? Or at least ini-schedule mo kung kailan mo siya gagawa ng paraan. Parang ganun. Like in my case, meron akong list of things na kinu-queue, diba? As you know, diba? May naisip ako, ilagay mo nga ito sa app natin o sa TikTok, diba? Tapos by the time na okay na, saka natin gagawin. Something like that. Pero tama ka, to the question earlier, how can we switch things and be okay with it pagka we change things, no? I guess another aspect also is yung depending on your cash flow.
Oh, okay.
Because if you're on the edge, I think wala kang choice kundi to to really go after things, to chase things, diba? Like me, if before na I have a high overhead, a lot of employees, you always are chasing after sales, collection, because you don't want to delay payroll, you don't want to delay your bills. Kasi so somehow wala kang luxury of wala kang luxury of taking breaks,
Right.
kasi you're going to feel guilty about it pag may na-delay ka. You have to be vigilant in all aspects. Pero may concept nga ng being feel good. So I think the first step really is to
Stabilize
your
cash flow.
your cash flow. Napanood ko nga kanina yung sa video about yung nag-i-interview na how did you earn your first million, something like that. Sabi niya, ano bang madali? Getting rich or staying rich? Sabi niya, getting rich is mas mahirap. Which makes sense. To my point kanina, mahirap talaga pag you are trying to get rich or trying to stabilize your income, your cash flows. Yun yun, I think kaya nga mas bagay sa mas bata, diba? Kasi mas may energy sila to do it. Though again, may concept ng feel good na going with the flow, etc., which is somehow totoo din, kasi the industry that na pinasok ko is somehow iba yung dynamics, as opposed to you enter into a business na one of our businesses is the window blinds, diba? So projects come in without forcing it,
Right.
kasi meron siyang demand. So you also have to be choosy about
No, I think
things.
one thing about your okay, one thing about what's happening now, you got the liberty to do this kasi you have the liberty also to choose your clients,
Correct.
choose who to serve. Kasi before, parang you're servicing everybody.
You're at mercy.
You're at mercy. But now, yeah, you get to choose who you want to serve.
Yeah,
or-
and that's the importance of having a brand, diba? Because if you establish your brand, people come to you instead of you doing outreach and you knocking on doors. So this time, which it took me a while before I established that kind of parang brand that people is attracted to, do a business with me because of the brand that I have established. Alright, so probably as a takeaway, yung again going back dun sa us having this liberty and having the liberty to adjust your schedule is something that we all aim to do,
aspire
to do. Hindi kayong parang slave dun sa business mo, diba? Because hindi ka nag-establish ng system. So establishing a right process, a right system, right cash flow system will eventually take you to the level of a feel-good business.
Alright, so it's Thursday morning and I am in the office doing a project. So this is a business process review project, and right now I'm doing an in-depth analysis of the data that we have collected, and at the same time a to-be process of their revolving fund and sales vault, sales deposit vault, to be business process. So for the in-depth data analysis is that what I did was to analyze each of the forms, reports, data that we have collected, and from there is to make a general report of what's missing, what are the gaps, and suggested quick recommendations. For example, I have a summary of the submitted files for their reference, and in the report I mentioned the executive takeaways here is they have strong foundation since they have processes, but there is like weak segregation of duties. They have process maps, but it's not enforced. They have multiple companies, but there's friction because the documents, the forms and roles are not standard. What else? They have like credit policies, but they don't have policies for credit scoring. What else? There is no three-way matching in procurement process like PO, GRN or receiving report, voucher and payment. What else? KPIs are there but not implemented. So pretty much I also have a quick win or implementation plan by priority. My suggestion here is first is to stabilize controls first, define authority matrix, then separate the roles. For example, in separate roles for cashier and receivables. Like I said, there should be three-way matching in the PO and to payment process. Then after that would be more of implementation of other reports. In production there are missing reports, so that's for the in-depth analysis. And then I also have, since they have control issues with the revolving fund, so I also have drafted a to-be process and work instructions, like from setting up a revolving fund, how to request funds, then liquidation of the fund, the replenishment, and audit up to audit process. So these things are, you know, pretty much standard, but most companies in the Philippines, especially the mom and pop, they do it, you know, they do these processes just based on their intuition, but the best practices, well, it's my job to give them advice and train them on the best practices in any case. So, yun yung high level, no? Chess, okay ka ba dun? High level strategy natin? Okay. Sige, so if that's the case...
Pwede mag-input?
Yeah, of course.
So, now that we're doing the as-is, meron lang ako, and I don't know how deep you went in this,
Kako-knife nila yung guard o hindi?
tingin nila. So, sabi ko, kailangan yung guard kasi naka-manpower services yan. Tapos pinapalitan every 6 months. Wala talaga dapat familiarity yung guard.
Hindi, pero ano, dapat kasi na may matching. Yung nga importance ng PO eh. I don't know kung nag-PPO ba sila?
Hindi eh. Nag-PPO sila pero hindi consistent dito sa mga supply. Hindi yata.
So this week, everything feels urgent. Everything feels important. But when every minute is accounted for, the very things that give you clarity, quiet, focus, even music get buried. I learned that flow is found in systems that protect your energy. Because when you protect your energy, you don't just get more done. You become more of who you're meant to be.